Section 1. Understanding limits and continuity to provide a foundational understanding of limits and continuity and their significance in business calculus. Introduction. In this section, we'll explore the concepts of limits and continuity, the fundamental building blocks of calculus. These concepts are crucial for understanding changes and trends in the business environment, such as cost variations, profit maximization, and other economic factors. Limits explain. Here, we will understand the concept of approaching a value limit and how it applies to business situations like approaching market capacity or optimal pricing. Approaching a value, also known as taking a limit, is a mathematical concept in calculus. It involves examining the behavior of a function as its input or independent variable approaches a specific value. In business contexts, this concept can be applied to various situations such as market capacity or optimal pricing. Market capacity refers to the maximum amount of demand or sales that a particular market or industry can sustain. By taking the limit, or approaching this value, businesses can better understand the potential of their market and make strategic decisions to maximize their profits. For example, a company could analyze sales data and project future demand based on population growth, economic trends, and consumer behavior to determine the market's capacity. The limit provides a benchmark for companies to set realistic goals and make informed decisions about expansion, production, and pricing strategies. Similarly, taking the limit can also be applied to determine optimal pricing for a product or service. This involves analyzing the relationship between the price of a product and the quantity demanded by consumers. By approaching a limit of zero for the price, businesses can estimate the maximum demand for their product and set their pricing strategy accordingly. This can help businesses avoid overpricing and losing potential customers or underpricing and missing out on potential profits. Moreover, understanding limits can also assist businesses in managing risk and making future predictions. By approaching a value or limit, businesses can observe how their operations or financial performance may change in response to external factors such as economic conditions, competition, or consumer behavior. This can aid in proactive decision-making and mitigate potential risks by making adjustments to strategies or operations. In summary, approaching a limit is a useful concept in business as it helps companies understand the potential of their market, determine optimal pricing, and make informed decisions for future growth and risk management. In summary, approaching a limit is a useful concept in business as it helps companies understand the potential of their market, determine optimal pricing, and make informed decisions for future growth and risk management. Here is where we will learn methods for calculating limits, including factorization, conjugation, and the rule of L'Hopital for indeterminate forms. Factorization, one method for calculating limits, is to factor the numerator and denominator of the function and then simplify the resulting expression. This often helps to remove any common factors or potential division by zero. For example, if the limit of a function as x approaches AA is given by fx or gx, then you can factor both fex and gx and simplify the expression to make it easier to evaluate the limit. This method involves multiplying the numerator and denominator of the function by its conjugate. This can be useful for expressions involving radicals, as the conjugate will eliminate the square root and allow for further simplification. For example, if the limit of a function as x approaches AA is given by root x1, then you can multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate, root x1, to eliminate the radical and evaluate the limit. L'Hopital's rule. This rule can be used for evaluating indeterminate forms, which are expressions that approach infinity or zero, but do not have a definite value. If the resulting limit is still in indeterminate form, you can repeat the process until you get a definite value or determine that the limit does not exist. For limits involving trigonometric functions, You can use various trigonometric identities to simplify the expression and evaluate the limit. For example, the limit of sin x as x approaches 0 can be evaluated by using the identity lim x zo sin x what 1.5 squeeze theorem. This method is useful for evaluating limits when the function is sandwiched between two other functions whose limits are known. The squeeze theorem states that if fx, gx, adhx for all values of x near a, except possibly at a, and if lim x, afx, y lim x, ahx, then lim x, agx, lim x, ahx. Practical examples. Here we will now apply limits to business scenarios such as understanding diminishing returns on marketing, spend, and analyzing trends in consumer behavior. Understanding diminishing returns on marketing, spend, diminishing returns occur when an increase in investment or effort does not result in the same level of return. In other words, the initial investment or effort may bring significant returns, but as more resources are put in, the returns begin to decrease. Business scenario: a retail company has been consistently increasing its marketing budget every year in order to attract more customers and drive sales. However, they have noticed that despite the increase in marketing spend, their sales growth has started to plateau. Limit: the law of diminishing returns states that at some point investing more resources will bring a lower return. Therefore, the retail company should analyze their marketing campaigns and identify the optimum level of spending that generates the best return on investment. They should also consider leveraging other marketing strategies such as word-of-mouth advertising or influencer marketing to supplement their traditional marketing efforts. Analyzing trends in consumer behavior. Consumer behavior refers to the actions and decisions made by individuals when purchasing goods or services. Analyzing trends in consumer behavior can help businesses understand their target market and adapt their strategies accordingly. A technology company has noticed a decline in their sales of a particular product line. They want to understand the reasons behind this trend in order to make informed decisions about future product development and marketing strategies. Limit: as consumer behavior is constantly evolving, businesses should continually monitor and analyze trends in order to stay relevant and meet the needs and preferences of their target market. However, it is important to note that consumer behavior may not always follow predictable patterns, and there may be external factors that affect purchasing decisions. Businesses should also consider conducting market research and surveys to gather deeper insights and feedback from their customers. Continuity and its importance in business applications. Understanding continuity, here is where we will learn what it means for a function to be continuous and why this is important for modeling and analyzing business operations. In mathematics, a function is considered to be continuous if its graph can be drawn without any breaks or interruptions. This means that as you move along the horizontal axis, the height of the graph changes in a smooth and uninterrupted manner. A function can also be continuous if its graph has no sharp turns or corners. In terms of business operations, continuity of a function is important because it reflects the smoothness and consistency of a business's operations. A function that is continuous implies that there are no sudden interruptions or disruptions in the business processes, resulting in a steady and predictable flow of operations. Moreover, having a continuous function also means that the business is operating at a steady rate, which enables better planning and forecasting. It allows businesses to make reliable projections and analyze their operations performance over time. This information is crucial for making strategic business decisions, such as setting prices, production levels, and budgeting. Another reason why continuity is essential for a function modeling business operations is that it enables the identification of any underlying issues or inefficiencies. Discontinuous functions indicate that there are certain areas in the business that are not working smoothly and need improvement. By identifying these areas, businesses can take corrective actions to optimize their operations and improve their overall efficiency. In addition, continuity of a function is also crucial for accurately measuring and analyzing the performance of a business. For instance, financial metrics such as revenue, expenses, and profits are often represented by continuous functions. Analyzing these functions over time can provide insights into the business's financial health and help identify opportunities for growth and improvement. In summary, continuity of a function is vital for modeling and analyzing business operations because it reflects the smoothness and consistency of a business's processes, allows for accurate planning and forecasting, enables the identification of inefficiencies, and helps measure and analyze performance.